Hello, and thank you for taking the time to find out more about the Lower Thames Crossing local refinement consultation. This film will give you an update on some localised changes we have made to our plans following our extensive community impacts consultation last year, before we submit an application for a development consent order. This is not an exhaustive account of the refinements, rather we're providing you with an overview of some of the more notable elements in Thurrock, Essex and Havering. There are many ways you can find out more or get in touch to ask specific questions, and I'll give you more details on those in a moment. But first, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Andrew Dempsey. I'm a communications manager on the project, and we're also joined by a British Sign Language interpreter, and these films are fully captioned. This film starts with a brief introduction to the Lower Thames Crossing project and why it is needed. We'll then explain why we're consulting before going through some of the proposed changes in Thurrock, Essex and Havering. And before we finish, we'll quickly run through how you can give us your feedback. But before we get going, we want to let you know where you can find out more. All the information is available here on this dedicated consultation website. You can also ask for printed copies of the consultation documents to be delivered to your home free of charge. And you can pick up copies at one of our events or at libraries and civic centres near the proposed route. We'll cover these again at the end and highlight the different ways you can have your say, but if you do have any questions, you can speak to somebody one-on-one by booking a telephone call back from a member of our team or come along to one of our consultation events near you. Firstly, let me explain what the Lower Thames Crossing is. It is a new road and tunnel called the A122 Lower Thames Crossing. It would connect to the A2 and M2 in Kent, passing through a tunnel underneath the River Thames before linking to the A13 in Thurrock and junction 29 of the M25 in the London Borough of Havering, north of the Thames. It would be approximately 23 kilometres long, with 4.25 kilometres of this inner tunnel. This would be located to the east of the village of Chalk on the south side of the Thames and to the west of East Tilbury on the north side. And why is it needed? Well, for more than 50 years, the only road across the River Thames east of London has been the Dartford Crossing. It is a critical part of the country's road network, connecting communities and businesses south and north of the river and providing a vital link for nearby major ports that distribute goods throughout the rest of the UK. But it is often congested as it regularly carries more vehicles than it was designed for. When accidents and incidents occur, it can take up to 5 hours for traffic to clear. The Lower Thames Crossing would offer an alternative route across the Thames. It would provide a number of benefits to local communities while enabling businesses to operate more effectively and improving access to housing, jobs, leisure and retail opportunities on both sides of the river. Your feedback has been vital with helping us shape the project so far, to reduce the impact of your community and environment as well as maximise the benefits. We've undertaken a record-breaking programme of consultation to help us get the design right. And following our extensive community impacts consultation in 2021, we're now holding this non-statutory local refinement consultation. We want your feedback on a number of localised changes we are proposing to make to the project before we submit an application for a development consent order later this year. During our community impacts consultation in 2021, we asked a number of questions to understand the level of support for different elements of the project on areas such as the project's impact and mitigation, changes since the previous consultation held in 2020 called the Design Refinement Consultation, order limits, the area needed to build and operate the new road, and the You Said We Did document, a summary of the feedback received in the past and how we had responded to it. Over 3,000 responses were received, and you can find detailed information on how we responded to that in the new You Said We Did document available on our website. But now we'll run through some of the key changes we're proposing in Thurrock, Essex and Havering following that feedback. The Thames estuary is the UK's #1 growth opportunity and the Thames Freeport and the Lower Thames Crossing are both vital to its success. The Thames Freeport has the potential to deliver 25,000 new jobs and will be much better connected to the rest of the country if the Lower Thames Crossing is constructed. Together, they represent a huge opportunity for economic regeneration. At the request of Thurrock Council, we have amended our proposals for a new public park called Tilbury Fields and some nearby environmental mitigation to make space for the Freeport to expand. The area shown in orange on the screen is the area that we are now proposing to remove from the project to make way. Our revised proposals include more recreational routes and links to footpaths than we had previously proposed, and an increase in the amount of mosaic habitat proposed, as well as improved connectivity to existing habitats and new landforms. The purple striped area, marked number 7 on the map, shows these areas. We are also working to align our construction activities to better support the development of the Freeport. A little further north, at the location marked 8 on the map, we are also proposing changes to our permanent operational access arrangements to allow maintenance and emergency vehicles to access the new road in this location. This aerial view shows you where the Thames Freeport expansion will be, marked in purple, in relation to the proposed Lower Thames Crossing, which is in the centre of this image. The red line shows the order limits, the area needed to build and operate the Lower Thames Crossing. And this is a different perspective, looking south towards the northern tunnel entrance towards the Thames, with Tilbury Fields on the left. To address concerns about traffic from the Lower Thames Crossing using some local roads in the Orsett and Chadwell St Mary area, we are proposing a new link road between the Orsett Cock roundabout to the A1089 southbound. You can see this new link road marked as number 16 in the centre of this drawing. This would replace the previously proposed connection between the A13 westbound and the A1089 southbound, shown at the previous Community Impacts Consultation in 2021. The red lines and arrows on this image show how traffic would travel from the Lower Thames Crossing to the A1089 southbound via this new link road. This direct connection removes the need for traffic travelling from the Lower Thames Crossing to the A1089 southbound to use local roads, and would reduce the impact of traffic on roads such as Brentwood Road and Stanford Road. It would also address feedback from Thurrock Council, the Port of Tilbury and DP World by improving connectivity between the new crossing and the A1089 southbound. On some other local roads, such as Rectory Road and Conways Road, there is predicted to be an increase in traffic volumes. Where increases in traffic flows have been predicted, this may lead to greater changes in air quality and road traffic noise than those presented during the Community Impacts Consultation. Where reduction in traffic flows are predicted, this could lead to an improvement in air quality and road traffic noise compared with those previously presented. However, when looking at the overall impact, it is expected that these impacts will be in line with those presented previously. We are also proposing some additional landscaping features where the project would join the A13, and these are areas shown in green on the map marked A to G. This landscaping would be located within the existing order limits and no further land is required. The areas had already been identified for woodland and other planting alongside the new road, and it will still be used for this purpose, but we are refining the landscaping. And this image shows how the A13 junction would look, and you can see Stifford Clays Road and Baker Street in the foreground. For a closer look at the proposed new link road and the landscaping proposed, please see the guide to consultation, the map books, or the interactive map on our website. In total, the Lower Thames Crossing would create almost 3 kilometres of new or improved pathways for every 1 kilometre of the new road. That's 60 kilometres in total, with over 40 kilometres in Thurrock, Essex and Havering. This would encourage active travel and promote health and well-being across the region. New bridges and paths would connect to upgraded and extended routes to give the local community and visitors easier and safer ways of travelling between the area's parks and woodlands, heritage sites and employment centres. We are proposing some changes to these pathways in this consultation, and I will run through those in a moment, but here are some of the key proposals that we've included in earlier consultations. It includes a new footpath and bridleway over the M25 to complete an off-road route between the new community woodland on Hull Farm, Thames Chase Forest, the Mardyke and beyond. We are replacing Rectory Road Bridge over the A13 with a wider bridge with a segregated horse track and footpath. We have proposed 4 new green bridges to provide an easier and safer crossing point for people, horses and wildlife. And we're improving connections between the local community and heritage sites such as Tilbury Fort, Coalhouse Fort and East Tilbury Battery. Finally, we're also proposing a new foot and cycle path separated from road traffic that will provide a safe and easy way to commute between East Tilbury, Linford and Chadwell St Mary. Outside of the project, National Highways is also funding improvements to the wider public rights-of-way network in the area. This includes the restoration of a missing link between the popular Two Forts Way footpath between Tilbury Fort and Coalhouse Fort that will be delivered by Thurrock Council. And we're also supporting the Association of South Essex local authorities to improve the accessibility of the coastal path between Coalhouse Fort and Stanford Le Hope. Now I'll run through some of the new proposals. We are proposing to include new public rights-of-way and pathways that link to the heritage sites of Coalhouse Fort and Bowwaters Batteries, as well as to East Tilbury. This is the pathway marked as number 12 on the map. These new connections would create a variety of alternative routes that walkers, cyclists and horse riders on the coastal path could use. As part of the Tilbury Fields redesign proposals, shown at number 7 on the map, we have also identified an opportunity to provide a link from the existing bridleway BR58 Cole Road to FP200, which runs from Station Road to Princess Margaret Road. This would be designated as a bridleway. Alongside other footpath improvements in the Tilbury area, there would be an enhanced recreational walks and loops connecting Tilbury Fields to the wider landscape with better access to the riverfront. We previously set out our mitigation proposals for an area of watervole habitat in the Mardyke Valley near Orsett Fen. Since then, we have been discussing the layout of the habitat with Natural England, and we have put in place a minor refinement to its design. The bridleway is proposed to move 3 metres east of its current route and would cross a new area of watervole habitat via bridges to the east of the Mardyke River. This refinement has resulted in a need to change the alignment of the short section of the existing bridleway BR219, which runs along the eastern bank of the Mardyke River, and this is shown as the orange line in number 18 on the map. We have also amended our proposal of the partial upgrade of footpath FP136, which runs from the North Road to Dunnings Lane to provide a realigned bridleway link to the existing Mardyke Way bridleway BR219. This is the line in orange marked as 19 on the map. Features such as a gate and a stile would be installed to reduce and mitigate the likelihood of unauthorised vehicles accessing this route. Following feedback from the London Borough of Havering and local cyclist groups, we are now proposing a new bridge for walkers, cyclists and horse riders across the A127 west of M25 Junction 29, linking Moor Lane in the south to Folkes Lane in the north. This change addresses feedback about connectivity between the north and south footways and cycleways alongside the A127 to both east and west sides of the M25, ensuring east-west connectivity. You can see this marked as 25 on the map. And here is an artist's impression of that bridge from the level of the A127 north of Moor Lane looking east towards the M25.